making money business. They're thinking on your money. Their business is
yeah, but what's that got to do with not being active?
What that has to do with is the fact that Floyd Mayweather signed a Showtime deal for 6 fights. I told people on the Boxing Voice, I said, yo, there's a reason why nobody's picking Guerrero to win this fight. Everybody that called up that night, nobody picked Guerrero. But yeah, there was some people were saying this is a good fight. I said, this is not going to be a good fight. Guerrero is a hand-picked, cherry-picked opponent. I don't care how you look at it. This nigga's slow as hell. Basically, no head movement. Floyd Mayweather said it himself on All Access. He's like, yo, he's flat-footed, no head movement, straight up and down, no special effects. We know that, Floyd. That's why you picked him. You got a 6-fight deal with Showtime. You're not going to fight. You're not going to be in any tough fights, especially.
Who the hell was he supposed to fight?
Showtime wasn't trying to lose money.
Who was he supposed to fight? Andre Ward?
What he said about Guerrero. You asked him, well, why did you hype your friends up? Because of all the promotion, all the nonsense. He's a boxing fan. He gets closer to the fight.
No, but
of course,
he's going
to be.
No,
of course, he's going to be.
No, I'm going to go halfway into this. He's going to be.
You're going to be a little bit more excited. You're going to be a little bit more excited because of the fight. But what we saw tonight was what experts expected. I definitely expected it, and I said it, and I'm gonna say it again. I mean, come on, son, this dude is a limited fighter. I mean, I got my Donald whooping. What's his name? Guerrero's ass.
But no, what I'm saying is he thought Guerrero was gonna push him. Is what I was saying, not to have your friends over. I want your friends over. It has nothing to do with that. But you can't say I'm having my friends over because Guerrero is gonna push him, and then when he doesn't push him, I'm on your side as far as I actually called for a TKO because I thought he'd stop my cuts. I get it as far as it made the mismatch early. I thought the rust would show the first 4 rounds. You know, I'm with you as far as a mismatch enough to where you knew who was going to win. But that's not what he was saying. That's what I'm saying. Bring your friends over. That's all.
Okay. Well, what you got to understand is that what you just said about putting him on the ropes, with all due respect, that's the dumbest shit you can do against Floyd Mayweather. That shit is stupid. You can have success at times, but you gotta do this. The reason why Cotto, a faded Cotto, was able to put it on Mayweather, and my man had it, 113 or 115, I don't care what nobody say, it could have been 115 or 115 either way. Because remember, Mayweather's a cash cow, he will get favored.
You had a draw, you had Cotto Mayweather a draw?
No, I could have. You could have been either way 7-5. Either way 7-5.
This man gave Cotto 5 rounds. Matter of fact, he said 7.
Cotto was landed. They ain't show shit because they do the same thing with Pacquiao.
What are you smoking in Dominican?
When he fought Marquez,
these Dominicans are smoking real good.
Every replay was Pacquiao. Everything was Pacquiao. Pacquiao didn't win that fight. Marquez won that fight. But of course, he's the cash cow. He's the HBO guy making HBO money. They're going to make him the winner. And that's what they did with Floyd. But with Floyd is more believable because of his usual dominance against lesser opponents. Here, he had an A-class fighter who was faded, but still had A-class skill. And that's why Cotto was able to win so many rounds and be so successful against Mayweather. He took him to the rope.
Ness, you hang out with a dude like this.
All he was using skill. If you notice, in the middle rounds, Cotto was outboxing Mayweather in the mid of the ring.
Oh my God! I didn't hear it all.
Making Floyd miss. I'm like, yo, he's outboxing Floyd.
Cotto outboxed
That's what people don't understand. That's because, like you said, he's a diminished fighter. Imagine when he fought before he fought Margarito.
Oh my God.
Honestly, before he fought Margarito, Pacquiao wouldn't have took that fight. I'm not a Cotto fan. I never liked Cotto. I never liked his attitude. You know, I'm Dominican. I'm not Puerto Rican. Oh, this is Cotto. Nah. It's just, you know, so I'm being truthful again.
Right.
Now you don't root for Cotto.
Oh, no. That's what the thing is. Everybody's, point, and that's what we break this all down, and it's good to debate. I will say this, though. Cotto's better offensively than Guerrero, and he's been in there with better.
He's better all around.
He's had success about challenge.
He's better all around.
What's that?
He's better all around.
Yeah, he's better on, exactly. And my thing is, it's like, if you say you're going to come forward, I mean, what was Floyd saying in the run-up to this? I'm going to be a little smart. I'm going to get back to my counter-punching ways, but The fight itself, he did have him on the rope. I'm not saying force him on the rope, but Guerrero is not going to, when you say don't put him on the rope, I agree to an extent, just forcing him there, but Guerrero wasn't going to win a boxing contest. And early on, he was actually trying to out-counter Floyd and make Floyd be first, not early on in the first 2 rounds, but, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, it was the point where you're like, no, dude, you have to go for it. I'm not saying dumb, but if you think about it, Cotto was in the middle of the ring throwing his jab, but when he did get him cornered, he did for sure go to the body and set up the shot up top. Of course, the jab's going to land. He's going to land the jab on everybody because that's Cotto. That's Cotto. But my point is, if we say he just pot shots in just one punch at a time, okay, then we know he can counter punch. But why isn't Guerrero on the hook for at least pushing the fight? Because after all, that's what he said. He's never had it. So we'll definitely get back into this. But in the same breath, I just got to get some more callers. Thanks a lot for calling in. We're from theboxingsocialist.com. Check them on YouTube. Follow them on Twitter. What do you think of the fight tonight? We'll get into the undercard, which we all talked about the undercard with this pay-per-view. And it was a good undercard, no doubt about it, with the one-sided main event. What do you think of the performance of Mayweather? It didn't take long for him to get the rust off.
Oh, my God. I mean, I had to get somewhere where I could, get quiet so I can talk. But, man, his performance was almost like, I couldn't believe how sharp his reflexes were. At 36, the year off in the ring, I mean, this guy, Robert Guerrero, is a southpaw. So this is difficult to fight a southpaw and have this kind of defensive prowess that he was using in the ring. Because he was circling the wrong way. And he's still able to avoid all of Robert Guerrero's shots by his sharpness and his skills. I think he showed Guerrero what the next level was. And it was becoming frustrating because Robert Guerrero didn't know how to adjust to what Floyd Mayweather was doing. Floyd was trying to get his timing and get his rhythm and time Guerrero. So that's why Guerrero was good in the first round. He was throwing a lot of counters, but that was the wrong game plan. It was good at first, but he needed to punch when Floyd Mayweather was punching. Like we said on the show last week, if you want to be successful and you want to beat Floyd Mayweather, you're going to have to punch when he punches. That's the only way you can find cracks into the defense. That's when he's vulnerable. Miguel Cotto did that at plenty of times. And the other guy who came on beforehand, I respect everybody's opinion of a fight, but I don't know if he knows what counts as a scoring punch and what doesn't. Because there's no way Miguel Cotto won 5 rounds in that fight against Floyd Mayweather. It just didn't happen.